Legal advisor to the Israel Foreign Ministry, Tal Becker, defended the military's actions by recounting the surprise attacks carried out by Hamas on October 7th and calling them wholesale massacre, mutilation, rape, and abduction. Here's what else he had to say.
We live at a time when words are cheap. In an age of social media and identity politics, the temptation to reach for the most outrageous term, to vilify and demonize, has become for many irresistible. The entirety of its case hinges on a deliberately curated, decontextualized, and manipulative description of the reality of current hostilities.
For more, let's speak to our correspondent, Fernande van Tets. Hello to you, Fernande. We heard in sometimes very grim detail about those Hamas attacks, the surprise attacks on October 7th. Tell us more about the argument put forth by Israel.
So yes, Will, that is actually the first argument that Israel is making. They're saying if any genocidal acts were committed, then it was by Hamas on October the 7th. They've also alluded to the multiple statements by Hamas calling for the annihilation of Israel. Their second argument is about the right to self-defense. Of course, this court has been asked to hand down provisional measures, including ending the military operation that is happening in Gaza right now. Israel says that would violate its right to self-defense. It says that it would also violate its responsibility to its own citizens to respond to what happened on the October 7th attack, and also to bring home those more than 130 hostages still being kept by Hamas. And their third argument is about these provisional measures. They say they're disproportional. We haven't heard that full argument yet. They've outlined almost an hour of time to get into that, so that's really a big thing for them. And at the moment, they're questioning whether this court actually even has jurisdiction because it is a dispute between two states, and they're saying, well, South Africa didn't actually talk to us properly before bringing this case here. So we'll have to see what the judges think about that as well. We're also going to see footage from that October 7th attack we have been warned that will be shown. Legally, it's questionable how relevant that is to this case, because South Africa yesterday said that they do not question their right to defend themselves at all. That's not at stake for them here. But of course, that matters in the court of public opinion, which is also what this is about. This has turned the eyes of the world to this court. There's demonstrators outside, hundreds of them. And so it is likely to help sway the court of public opinion, seeing those gruesome images yet again.
Yeah, Fernande, that's a good point. But let's go back to the International Court of Justice. Moving forward, what can this court actually do?
Well, that's the point. It cannot do very much. Even if these provisional measures are handed down, there is no way to enforce them. This is a final decision. When it comes, there's no appeal possible, but they have no mechanism of enforcement. The only thing that can happen is you can go to the UN Security Council. Of course, there the United States has veto power, which has often stood by Israel. So enforcement options are pretty lacking. It's very clear to be seen also from Russia, who was taken to this court by Ukraine in 2022. This court ordered Russia to stop the invasion of Ukraine, and of course we all know that did not come about. However, legally, it does mean if this court says that these provisional measures should be carried out, that then any continuation of a military operation is in violation of international law. So in that respect, it is powerful what this court has to say. It is the UN's top court. Israel is present here. It is defending itself. It is acknowledging the legislative power of this court by being here. And so it's definitely more than symbolics alone.
All right, Fernande. Thank you very much. Fernande van Tets reporting from The Hague.